listening to the voice of Pittsburgh News Radio 1020 KDKA. I'm Angino. Well, it doesn't happen very often where Democrats and Republicans come together in virtual unanimous agreement upon something, where a conservative lawmaker and the ACLU can say, yes, we agree on this. But it's happened. And it's with legislation that Rick Saccone has introduced in the Harrisburg, and he's joining us now on the Disc Institute of Pittsburgh Newsline. State Representative Rick Saccone, welcome to KDK Radio. Good to have you.
Thanks, Rob. Happy to be on.
Now, this legislation, what is so special about this? I'm going to let you introduce this, that has brought everyone together, whether they're conservatives, liberals, Republicans, Democrats, everybody.
Well, this is one of those things where the law is broken and it's hurting people. Government is the obstacle, and this is a way to fix it. That's what we're supposed to do up in the legislature, is fix broken laws and make things just. And this is one of those areas where people who have maybe committed a non-driving offense and have paid their debt to society come out, even get out of jail or finish their whatever debt that the court has ruled, and they think, okay, I'm starting over, I have a clean slate. And they find out, no, I don't, because my driver's license has been suspended. And now I can't get to work. I can't get to rehab. I can't get to school. I can't get to whatever I'm supposed to be doing. And that causes a lot of problems, keeps them off of keeps them on the welfare rolls, keeps them off of the tax-paying rolls. And these are just people that want to work. But they can't. And hundreds and thousands. We have 150,000 Pennsylvanians in the last 5 years who have been convicted of a minor drug offense, nothing to do with driving, but have had their driver's licenses suspended and can't work. And these are people that have skills. These are skilled workers. These are people that could be working in union jobs. These are people that could be working in a variety of skills, but they can't get there. So this was a way to correct that error by saying we're not going to suspend driver's license for non-driving offenses. We can assign other punishments to that, but this is counterproductive. It doesn't help people get back and become productive citizens. It's actually preventing them, and that results in a number of spirals. They go home and they can't get to work. They have family problems, so they go back out and maybe they get involved in criminal activity, or they drive without a driver's license. Then they get caught again, and then now their driver's license is suspended. Instead of 2 years, it's 5 years, and it just keeps adding up. We had one individual's driver's license was suspended for 21 years. Well, how is that person ever going to expect to be a productive member of society if he can't get to work?
Of course. Now, looking back at this, what was it about it that convinced you that it needed to go away? Because it was brought in at one point, and I'm sure that the lawmakers that introduced this, that passed this, that the governor then signed, had the best of intentions with having this legislation in the first place.
I think, and looking back on it and trying to find out, I think people say, look, you've committed a crime. We want to give you a harsh punishment, and we want to teach you a lesson. So taking away that driver's license, that'll be a good way, because that'll hurt. Well, yeah, it does hurt, and we want people to feel some of the justice, but we want the punishment to fit the crime, and this is one of those punishments that doesn't fit the crime. It has a counterproductive result. It's not a deterrent at all. I had a guy come to my office and said, he's like, I got to get my driver. I said, how'd you get here? He said, I drove. I said, well, you don't have a driver's license. He said, well, I got to drive. I got to get to work. I'm like, oh my God, you're just compounding the problem. I mean, so many good people who want to work and want to break that cycle where they've been in trouble. They have families. They have a skill. They want to work in a time when we have low unemployment. We're crying for good workers. I toured a factory where they were training brick masons, not a factory, a school where they were training brick masons, and these people were so skilled. It was amazing what they could do, and about 3 or 4 of them said, "Yeah, but I'm going to graduate sooner. I don't think I'm going to be able to get a job because I don't have a driver's license. I had a possession offense, and I've paid that debt back, but my driver's license is still suspended." I'm like, my gosh, the hope and despair of those people just made a great impression, a deep impression on my heart. And I just, look, these people aren't asking for any special preference. They've paid their debt to society. They only want to return as productive citizen, and our government is the obstacle, I think, through an error in the law. And that's why so many people have come together. And I hope the governor has a signing ceremony, and I hope we can all stand behind him at that table together as he signs it. Unions and minority groups and liberals and Republicans and Democrats and conservatives, and just say this is what our government should be doing. This is the way we should. I see it as a model piece of legislation. This is how we should be working together to solve problems where we can find common ground.
Were you surprised at any point that it got unanimous support in the Senate?
No, I maybe it was wishful thinking, but I thought this is so common sense to me that, come on, who could disagree with this? I knew there would be someone that would disagree. And I think originally some people disagreed. They didn't understand what we were doing. Some were saying, "Oh, you're selling out. I thought you were tough on crime, Rick. You're soft on crime." This has nothing to do with that. This is about punishment fitting the crime and helping people to get back on their feet. We don't want them to be on the welfare rolls. As a conservative, people say, "Well, as a conservative like you, this sounds like a real liberal law." I said, no, as a conservative, we talk about putting people back to work, smaller, more efficient government, reducing the welfare rolls. Well, what better way than this to do it? These people want to work. They just can't because we're being the obstacle.
State Representative Rick Saccone joining us on the Disc Institute of Pittsburgh Newsline. Your last legislation that you're able to get through as you decide to retire, you go out on a high note. Thank you very much for your time, sir.
Thank you.